quote, Americans are decent people, but some decisions made in our name over the last few decades have been a deep and dark betrayal of that decency. I was wondering if you could explain that article or what you were thinking.
I believe that the invasion of Iraq, with which England went along, by the way, but certainly instigated by the United States, was more than, people say, oh, it was a mistake, or it was one of the biggest foreign policy failures or mistakes in American history. Well, yeah. Don't stop with that. Move on with that and allow yourself to truly feel the horror of what we did. Just the sheer immorality of the fact and stupidity of the fact that we attacked a country that it had nothing to do with 9/11, that had not attacked us. There were many people within the security agencies of the United States who deeply questioned the issue of weapons of mass destruction. We have the majority of U.S. senators who didn't bother to even walk down the hall and read that classified material, although it was available to them. And with that invasion, and also with the unbelievably inept, to put it mildly, way that we dealt with the city of Baghdad and beyond Baghdad after the invasion, created an even larger horror. As one woman said to me, an Iraqi woman said to me, when Saddam and his sons were alive, we knew we had 3 monsters. And we're not stupid. We talked about it all the time. And what we would do about those 3 monsters, you have unleashed unlimited monsters. There was no Al-Qaeda in Iraq. Saddam Hussein himself was a secularist. It's not like he was a good guy. He was a terrible man. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're not invading every country that is led by someone whose actions we find horrifying. And with this invasion, we have unleashed this horror. I mean, ISIL, much of the leadership of ISIL grew out of the disbanded army. Our politics is like allopathic medicine. It's like traditional allopathic Western medicine, where all you do is seek to eradicate the symptoms or suppress the symptoms. That's not adequate to the challenges of this moment. We need a more integrative approach to social and political issues, just like we now accept a more integrative paradigm in medicine, that there are psychological factors, that there are emotional factors, that there are spiritual factors. And part of that emotional and psychological factor is factoring in whether what you are doing leads to human despair. Does it lead to people hating you? Does it lead to people's hopelessness? Because whenever you have large groups of people who are desperate and hopeless, and particularly if they hate you, then you are creating for yourself a national security risk. Because those people will, by definition, in time, become more vulnerable to ideological capture by genuinely psychotic forces. And that's what we have on our hands now. We abdicated a moral field. We did not live up to the best of what we are as Western civilization. And as a consequence, the problem didn't begin with how many people wanted to kill us, but just with people not liking us, and then giving them reason to deeply distrust us. And they were rather easy to pull over. Now, this is not in any way to justify or to rationalize anything being done, the horrors being done in Paris and by ISIL, and beheadings and execution and the horrible things they're doing. Quite the opposite. I'm not a pacifist. I think that we did the moral thing in taking on Hitler. Obviously, to me, that's obvious. But it's not as simple now. This is not an operable cancer we're talking about here. This is a cancer that is metastasized. So I'm not facile here. I'm not like, oh, we just need to love, love, love. But I am saying the fact that we did not love and we did not factor in genuine moral questioning and deep reflective thought. And we as citizens, I think, how much did we really protest? How much did we really think deeply, each of us, about the invasion of Iraq? And in our own countries, both in England and in the United States, put up a fuss about it if, upon deep reflection, we did disagree with our governments. Now we are where we are. And I think that one of the important things for us to do, those countries among us who do feel, wow, maybe we shouldn't have done what we did, is to atone. This is where spirituality intersects with politics. Just like as individuals, when you know that you have contributed to your own disasters. And grown-ups do that. Grown-ups take a good look, and when things don't go right in our lives, we say, what even little part did I play in fostering this catastrophe in my life. Not everything is like that. But a lot of times you're getting a divorce, whatever, and if you're deep and you're thinking, you go, I can see where I contributed to the demise of my marriage. So that's true in most situations. Most situations in life, not all, but most situations in life, if we're honest with ourselves. If we take that fearless moral inventory that they talk about in the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, if you do take a real inventory of your own character defects, then you find that power. It's a spiritual power. If it's atonement, it's a genuine cosmic reset button. And I think the Western nations need to do that now.
To watch the rest of this fascinating interview, click on the link below and go to londonrealacademy.com. There you can sign in with your social media login and watch the rest of the episode for free, along with all of our episodes on London Real, my webinars, and all of our premium content, all located over at londonrealacademy.com. So click on the link below. You'll be directed there and you can watch the rest of this fascinating interview, and I'll see you there. To watch the rest of this fascinating interview, click on the link below and go to londonrealacademy.com. There you can sign in with your social media login and watch the rest of the episode for free, along with all of our episodes on London Real, my webinars, and all of our premium content, all located over at londonrealacademy.com. So click on the link below. You'll be directed there and you can watch the rest of this fascinating interview, and I'll see you there.